Hello. So we are live finally after some technical difficulties. Uh, Today we have an interesting guest with us, Dr. Anna Schozer. And I have a surprise for this episode for everyone who is watching us or will watch us later on the recorded video. We will do a gift from ILV Veterinary Store. It will be a $10 gift card for everyone who watches us on this video and manages to use it first as a code. So at the end of the episode, I will announce the code, and everyone who will be able to use it first will get $10 of their order. Thank you for being with us today, Dr. Anna. And if you would like to introduce yourself to our audience, and we'll continue with some interesting questions.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for having me. So, my name is Dr. Anna Schozer. I am currently a small animal relief veterinarian in southern New Hampshire. I also run an online health and fitness business, and I grew up on Long Island, headed to Missouri for veterinary school, and graduated last year.
Oh, nice. Freshly graduate. Uh, that's cool. So, can you tell us more about your school? How was it? Would you recommend it to other upcoming students?
Yeah, so like I said, I went to the University of Missouri, which is dead center in the state of Missouri in between Kansas City and
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis. Um, Things I liked about it, they have a 2-and-2 program. So you have 2 years in didactics in the classroom, and then you're able to head to clinics earlier compared to other schools in October of our third year, when typically students maybe only go to clinics in January or in the spring. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they also give you the option to switch to in-state tuition after your first year, which is pretty awesome to save that money for your other three
Yeah.
years of school. And it's only one of a few schools that do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Nice. That's a very nice insight that it saves you some.
yeah. And then when I went there for interviews, I interviewed at a few different schools, but I kind of just felt honestly like home. Interesting that
Mm-hmm.
Missouri and the Midwest could feel like home to a Long Island girl, but everyone there was just super welcoming and down to earth, even like the administrative team. So that's why I ended
Mm-hmm.
up choosing it.
Nice. Glad to hear that. So, you chose relief work. Why is it so special for you so far? And if you can tell us more about that.
Yeah, for sure. So I went into general practice right after graduation, even though I had planned on ER the whole time. Obviously, you don't always end up doing what you plan, especially in a field
Mm-hmm.
with so many options. So I completed that 3-month mentorship in GP and started doing relief work on the side on my days off. So working 4 days in GP on top of 1 to 2 days in the ER doing relief. And then around this time last year, I realized that I was just loving relief life and the emergency work more and decided to make
Mm-hmm.
it my full time gig. It's given me not only more time freedom because I'm able to make my own schedule and not kind of live for my 2 weeks of PTO a year, and
Mm-hmm.
financial freedom because relief veterinarians are fortunately paid a bit more than salary doctors.
Mm-hmm.
It's allowed me to travel more, put money towards my new house, my wedding, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've gotten the experience from learning from multiple doctors instead of just a few at one hospital. I get doctors at every hospital teaching me their
Yeah.
tips and tricks that they've learned over the year. It's definitely not the typical route people take, especially this early in their career. But I am forever grateful to the clinics who offered me mentorship even as a relief doctor and really poured their heart and energy and time into me to make me the doctor I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, if you are able to do that for a while and you like it, I think it's the perfect work-life balance. So, you also said that you work as a work-life balance, like helping people with work-life balance. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, for sure. So, like I said earlier, I run an online health and fitness business that I actually started during veterinary school because I figured I wasn't busy enough already in veterinary school.
Yeah,
Not add on a whole new business. Um, After my first year of veterinary school, that distance between my hometown back in New York to 1,200 miles away in school, kind of away from all friends, family, support system, going through the toughest years of life in
yeah.
veterinary school, I had put myself really just to the back burner, focusing just on school and studying, barely sleeping, barely taking care of myself. And I realized that I needed to start actually prioritizing me again. And so that's kind of where the business came into play. It is
Mm-hmm.
helped not only hold me accountable, but helped me find a community of people, especially in veterinary medicine, that were all kind of going through the same struggle bus and helped me feel not
Mm-hmm.
alone. And I love just now being able to share that with everyone else and letting them know that they're not alone and there is a support system there to help them if they are struggling like I was.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit more details about how it works? Where can people find you, or what kind of clients you help?
Yeah, so anyone is welcome to join. Obviously, being in the veterinary field, I have a lot more
Mm-hmm.
veterinary followers and friends on social media, so that ends up being who's in the groups. But basically, when you sign up, you get access to a bunch of different workout programs, nutrition programs, and my favorite part is the accountability groups I run. So I have daily posts in there for people to check in with, fun
Mm-hmm.
recipes, different motivation things, tips and tricks on things I've learned over the past 4 years since starting this. And it kind of just makes that little community of people that understand you more than others on the outside world do. Everyone kind of just pushing each other to be better every day. Um, and if you want more information, you can message me either on Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform you have. My email is also on all my social media accounts if you prefer to talk that way.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. So, you said you helped many people to find their work-life balance. So why do you find this important? Like, how did you get to this point where, yeah, this is important to you other than the veterinary medicine career?
Yeah, so veterinary medicine, unfortunately, is a field where we are typically very understaffed, especially this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes underappreciated by our clients, sometimes even like management, unfortunately, and it all takes a huge toll on our mental health. And we're working long hours or studying long hours and tend to put all of that and our patients, clients before ourselves. So I like just spreading that message that it is possible to find that balance in life if you put the effort and prioritize that in your life, because I never want anyone to feel as low as I did first year with just
Mm-hmm.
struggling to find time for myself. So it's been awesome to even see that switch go off in people's head once they're like, wait, I really can do this. This actually is making not only a difference in my physical health from working out, but it is such a good stress
Mm-hmm.
reliever for my mental health. And I've met friends online that I never would have had if I didn't start this business. I ended up going to Honduras on a mission trip with a girl I only knew from Instagram, and it was all because of this. So it brought me many different opportunities, besides just helping people in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you see many people struggling, like from your followers or from the vet community, from all the vet clinics you work in? Do you see many people struggling, like from the veterinary profession?
I would say everyone's got to be struggling just a little bit, just due to
Mm-hmm.
the staffing. It is, even yesterday was a super hard day of work because we didn't have
Mm-hmm.
our typical three doctors on. Some days are definitely better than others, but I think you'd be lying if you're in veterinary medicine and say you're not struggling a bit. Even
Mm-hmm.
me 4 years into really trying to prioritize myself, like I still struggle trying to make it a priority and trying to find that balance some days. Um, I am definitely on a mission to help make that change and inspire others to make that change, but I unfortunately don't see it changing for a bit in this field until we can get more people in the field.
Yeah. Do you think it's very difficult to go through with veterinary medicine, like the school, and then get a good job, or what is it that makes it to have lack of staff in veterinary clinics?
I think before COVID, it was not as bad. I mean, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many households that are getting multiple pets instead of more families used to either not have pets or maybe took on one. And now myself, I just got my second dog this year. So it's hard to keep up with the number of vets graduating with the
Mm-hmm.
number of pets people are getting each year without even taking into account all the people that are retiring or leaving the field because they feel underpaid, overworked, underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unless they can find a way to open a bunch more schools, make it more affordable so that people aren't
Mm-hmm.
hesitant about the debt you have to go into, or find a way to pay everyone more, especially veterinary technicians. I
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately don't see the ratios going in our favor soon
Oh.
in the future. But school is long and hard, but it is worth it in the end because at least now I am doing the job I love, even though it's tough some days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just saw your stories before we started this podcast. Yeah, so do you mind sharing like what happened or what happens on days like that when it's very hard for you?
Yeah, so say yesterday, for example, usually we'll be able to have two doctors taking on outpatients and
Mm-hmm.
one to handle inpatients. Our hospital typically has at least like 15 inpatients at a time. So we could even use like
Mm-hmm.
a second inpatient doctor. But
Mm-hmm.
yesterday it was just me and one other doctor. So I was responsible for everything that was walking into the emergency room. Nowadays, things that are waiting aren't always super emergent. They might be urgent, but not emergent just because of the
Mm-hmm.
backup from general practices that can't get them in a reasonable amount of time. So we end up seeing them, but everything that came in yesterday seemed to be emergent. We had hip
Oh.
cars and hemoabdomens and kidney failures, and I was trying to run
Mm-hmm.
all of the cases at the same time. Um, and I had just finally stabilized a patient to go into a room with someone who had been waiting an hour, which honestly is a very good waiting time this day
Mm-hmm.
in
I
veterinary
can
medicine.
imagine. Yeah.
And they were just people get mad about the weight and the prices, and all we can do is apologize because unfortunately we have no control over those things. And usually
Yeah.
being from New York, I have a very, very tough skin and can usually hold my ground and try to not really get down when someone is screaming at me. But that one took a toll because of everything
Mm.
that led up that I was dealing with behind the scenes. And then you just have to go into the next room and talk to the next client like you're not on the verge of tears, which is very difficult to do. So,
Yeah.
yeah, days like that, but
Yeah.
hopefully next week will be better. So,
Yeah, that's I mean that's what you need to tell yourself. I mean every veterinary professional working day to day at the vet clinic gets to experience people yelling at them, which is never nice. And yes, you said you need to have very thick skin, nothing to touch you, but some days you just can't take it anymore. Yeah, unfortunately it's the profession we are in, and it's very difficult some days. Yeah,
yeah.
so uh, do you have any advice like for people on a days like that? Like, what do you tell yourself, and what can people, yeah, say to themselves or?
Usually, like, I will try, if I have the time, step outside for a few minutes to kind of just gather myself, de stress a little bit, kind of unload my mind so that
Mm-hmm.
I can just walk into the next room. Yesterday was too busy,
Mm-hmm.
so I just had to go on my day. But knowing, I think most veterinary professionals know not to take it personally. It's hard not to, but when
Yeah.
clients are truly upset over things we can't control, you just can't take it to heart because and honestly, if I was an owner and was waiting hours and hours, I would probably be frustrated. It's just the difference of knowing not to take it out on people that can't help. So I just
Yeah.
go with that. Don't complain about something that someone can't change. It's not going to help anything. It's just going to make the overall energy negative, and we have enough of that
Yeah.
in veterinary medicine, and really just need to be positive all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So on a lighter note, what does a busy person like you do in their free time? Like any hobbies, interests, something that helps you?
Yeah, I mean, 2022 has seemed to be the year of traveling for me, and I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that's because I've been relief this whole year and I was like, "Wow, I have time. I can go to all these places I've always wanted to go." So I've been just this year alone, I went out to Phoenix, I went to Punta Cana, Nashville. I went back to Missouri to watch my little in veterinary school graduate, which was awesome to not only see her, but like all my teachers and kind of catch up on the past year. I went
Mm-hmm.
out to Colorado and Indianapolis. I got to go to my first big veterinary conference at IVEX. And then, like I said, I just
Mm-hmm.
went on a spay neuter mission trip in Honduras. Definitely want to do more trips like that. Besides
Mm-hmm.
spending all of that free time traveling kind of on a day to day basis, I honestly binge watch a lot of TV shows. It is my mindless activity to decompress after a long day. I spend a lot of time running my social media business and my online
Mm-hmm.
fitness stuff, and then kind of just spending time with my fiance, my dogs, planning my upcoming wedding, trying to make my
Mm-hmm.
house a home, all little tasks that take up my time too.
Yeah, I can imagine being a veterinarian and then having to plan a wedding and do a house. It must be very exhausting.
Some days,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you for being with us today. I will just add the code now and let you say where people can find you, like your TikTok, your Instagram accounts. Um, okay, so everyone who is watching this episode will be able to use the $10 off gift card. The code is right there on the screen. So whoever uses it first gets the discount. And yeah, if you can tell us where can people find you on social media.
Yeah, so my handle for all my accounts is at Anna Schozer. I have Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Find me whatever channel
Hmm.
you use and reach out if you ever have any questions.
Of course, I think people who are struggling with yeah, with work-life balance, they will be interested in talking to you on social media or anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Always here
So
to help.
thank you again for being with us today, and it was lovely chatting with you. So I hope we see each other in another occasion, maybe in another episode, or on
Yeah,
social media, or on some conference. Who knows?
awesome.
Yeah. So we will finish here, and I will end the live video.